78 Sports TV here. Interesting topic today. Something a little different for you. I was checking my other page and checking my messages on my other page, and I seen that I got 2 messages from this guy, young guy, asking questions. And he seen my video about steroids and boxing and MMA, and he has come to the conclusion that I myself must be on steroids since I have a little knowledge about steroids. And he's like, "Oh man, you must be on steroids." And you know, he was asking for my advice on cycles for him to run as a beginner, and you know, asking for help and shit like that. And it's 2 long ass messages where him giving me his history and experiences with, you know, asking other people for help and going to bodybuilding forums and them not helping him out. And he gives me his stats. He says he's 23 years old, 148 pounds on a good day. He's 5'8". He claims that he has been working out for 5 years and has gotten absolutely no results. He says he's convinced that others around him at his gym are using steroids because they have been able to put on size over the years while he has not gotten any results. He says, "Please help. Don't be like everybody else who talks about steroids but won't offer any help." Okay. Now, I do sympathize with you because in this society, everything is about looks and everybody's trying to look good to impress some fucking body and shit. You know, everybody wants to be on camera and show their face and show their fucking traps and show their chest. And you got grown men coming on doing videos with their fucking shirt off and shit. And you know, 90% of the fucking people watching the video is all men. You know, and then they get, it's a lot of weird shit going on that you gotta be kind of into. But the thing is this. Okay, I do sympathize with you because I do see, when you go to these bodybuilding forums, you do see a lot of these young guys like him asking questions, and they really don't get help because, you know, people tell them stupid shit like, "Oh, wait until you're fucking 30 years old and your natural testosterone starts to break down, and you don't need to do them when you're too young," and blah, blah, blah. Okay. The problem with that theory is the reason why these kids aren't going to listen to you guys is because their hero, Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't wait until he was fucking 30. Arnold Schwarzenegger was juicing when he was a teenager. Sean Ray was juicing when he was a teenager. Flex Wheeler was juicing when he was a teenager, and so on and so forth. These kids know that. And you can't fool them with that bullshit about, you know, don't wait until your natural testosterone slows down or whatever the fuck. Because you didn't do that shit either. I don't know one motherfucker who juices who waited until he was 30 to start juice. I just don't. So that's just some bullshit that y'all tell people. Like, you tell kids, "Oh, don't have sex until you get married." And who the fuck gonna, man, come on, man. I mean, that's just stupid shit. You know, it sounds good in theory, but it's not gonna fucking happen. You know, so you need to educate them. You know, instead of being afraid to talk to your children about sex, okay, and waiting until they fucking 16, and by the time most parents decide to talk to their children about sex and the dangers of sex and the precautions they need to take, the fucking kids are fucking 15 to 16 years old, and your son then already got some head, and your daughter been out there giving head already. You know, and you sitting there looking stupid trying to talk to them. Now listen. One day your son, you're going to go out there and you're going to see a vagina. And he's thinking in his head, "Dad, I get pussy every fucking day." You know, this is what he's thinking, you know, listening to you. But you know, whatever. I don't want to get off topic. But anyway, you have to educate these kids. The reason why these kids are making so many mistakes with these steroids and stuff and getting themselves hurt is because none of the people, as Arnold would say, who have good advices are telling them. You're not sharing your good advices with these young kids. So you need to do that. You need to let them know. You're not encouraging them by telling them. You're helping them. Okay, giving them the dangers of it. Telling them if you're going to do it, you have to do it this way, blah, blah, blah. That's my opinion. That's what I think should happen. But before I go into that, I'm going to talk to the guy who wrote me this letter. I think that you're wrong for making the assumption that other people are on steroids. Just because they have been able to put on mass while you say you've been working out for 5 years and you've gotten absolutely no results. I think you're wrong to assume that they could just have better genetics than you do. Okay, for one, they could be working out better, more effectively than you are. They could have a better diet than you do. They could be more consistent than you are. You see, I found that a lot of people will not be honest with themselves. When it's time to do personal critiques, people aren't willing to be honest. They'll lie, leave little pieces out of their story. And you say 5 years is of working out consistently. You have to have results. It's impossible not to get any fucking results, even if you half-ass it. What I think is happening here is you are probably one of those guys. Okay, I'm not trying to offend you here. I'm just we talking here. But you're probably one of those guys who go to the gym and you stand in front of the mirror and you do 2 sets of bicep curls with weight that's way too heavy for you. Okay, so you're using horrible form and you're working most of your deltoids and shit, and you do 2 sets of bicep curls. Then you go to the bench and you do 2 sets of bench pressing. Then you stand back in front of the mirror and you pose for a minute in your tank top and you flex your arms, and then you go and drink you a fucking protein shake and you think you did something. I know a lot of people who do that, man. A lot of people, and they say, "Oh man, I work out every day, man." Yeah, that's not really working out, man. That's just, you can get the same effectiveness from just lifting boxes at work and shit. Like, that's not really working out, man. I'm not trying to offend nobody, but I'm saying there's a difference here. You have to learn, you have to educate yourself on how to work out. How many sets should you be doing? How to stress your muscle, how to break down the muscle tissue, how to exhaust your muscle, how to work to failure, okay? On each exercise, working each body part, shoulders, chest, back, different parts of the back, bicep, tricep, your traps, your fucking legs, your legs. I gotta keep saying that shit because a lot of people don't want to work legs, right? Your fucking calves, all of that shit, your abs, different parts of the body. A lot of people aren't willing to put that kind of time and energy in. They say, "Oh, I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to do it. I only got half hour a day. I only got 45 minutes a day." And that's 45 minutes is more than enough time to work one fucking body part a day. All right, but anyway, that's probably what you're doing. You're probably not stressing your muscles enough. You're not breaking down the muscle tissue. You're just probably just going through the motions. And as soon as you see a little pump, you think you did something. You stand in front of the mirror and look, and then you go home. All right, that's probably why you haven't gotten any results in 5 years. Also, consistency is the key. Okay, a lot of guys are not consistent. Right? I got a friend who say he loves to tell people he's been working out for 10 years, but in reality, he has not been working out for 10 years. He's been working out off and on for 10 years. He hasn't been working out for 10 years, and you shouldn't tell people shit like that, all right? But I'm going to give you a prime example. Look at the guys, a lot of guys in jail, right? In the jail system, prison system, whatever. You see these dudes who look huge. You got different kinds. Some of them are real huge and massive. They look like power lifters. Some of them look like bodybuilders. Some of them look like fitness models, right? Guys in jail are like that because of consistency. See, ain't no fucking micro. They ain't counting no fucking macros. They ain't counting how many carbs. I gotta watch my carbs. I can't do this and this. They ain't doing that shit in jail. They ain't got no fucking protein shakes. They ain't got no fucking creatine. What they have is time and consistency. Because when you walk through those doors and you check in to jail, the guns are checked in at the fucking door, and immediately you are entering gladiator school. Okay? When you go to jail, immediately okay, I have to be in the best physical shape, physically and mentally. I have to be the best me I can fucking be in this motherfucker, because I am now in gladiator school. Any given moment, I could be fighting for my fucking life. When a fight breaks out in jail, let me give y'all some, I don't know, if y'all ever been locked up before, but I have. And when a fight break out, guards don't just come and break it up. No, they have to call for backup. The backup has to get dressed in their little gear and shit. By the time they come, it's like 15 minutes fucking later, you could be dead. Okay, you need to be in the best physical shape that you can possibly be in. And that's why those guys are in such good shape in jail, because they are in there using their bodies as weapons. That is the weapons that they have, their bodies. And their bodies are also a deterrent. Okay? When you see a motherfucker who got huge pecs and ripped up abs, arms look like 2 big ass fucking tanks, you're gonna be less likely to start some shit with them. The biggest guys in jail rarely get into any physical confrontations. Rarely. Okay? The only people who get into fights and shit in jail are the lazy motherfuckers who sit around playing spades and playing dominoes all fucking day, shooting the shit. Because nobody's afraid of you, because you ain't fucking working out, you ain't eating right, So everybody wants, whenever somebody want to make an example of somebody, whoop somebody's ass, they come looking for you, right? There ain't nobody fucking with the guy who bench pressing twice a fucking week, you know, throwing around 400 pounds like it's a joke, all right? Ain't nobody fucking with the guy who in his room doing 1,500 push-ups a day. Nobody fucking with the guy who doing pull-ups from the fucking back of the basketball rim, all right? They only fuck with the guys who sit on their ass all day trying to negotiate fucking deals to buy cigarettes and shit. Them the guys who get into confrontation in lockdown. But my point is this. Consistency is why they look the way they do. They have to work out every fucking day, okay? They don't have nothing else to do. They don't have the pressures of society. They don't have to work a fucking job and worry about how they're going to pay their rent. They don't got to worry about, you know, making sure they can put food on the table. None of that shit. Everything's provided for them. All they have to do is work out, take care of their body. You know, that's all they have to do. That's why they look the way they do. And there ain't no fucking steroids in there. I'm sick of people saying shit like, oh, well, you know, the reason why them guys in jail are so big is because, you know, they be sneaking steroids. Man, shut the fuck. Ain't nobody, I don't know. You motherfuckers ain't never been locked up before. Ain't nobody sneaking no fucking steroids in jail. Okay, when you in jail, the only thing that's getting snuck in that motherfucker is weed, cigarettes, cocaine, and heroin. Ain't nobody thinking about no fucking steroids because ain't nobody got time to be getting gynecomastia in fucking jail. You walk around with gynecomastia in jail, you fuck around and get your titties sucked. Now, my other point to this is this. The question you asked me was, should you take steroids? That was the basis for you writing me this. Should you take steroids? Now, I'm not going to tell you, should you take steroids? If I were you, I wouldn't. Because I think you can get bigger. I think you're lying about how, you know, what are your goals? You know, what are you trying to do? That's the thing. Are you trying to be a power lifter? Are you trying to be a bodybuilder? Are you trying to be a fitness model? Or are you just trying to be a guy that's in shape? You trying to be a little bigger? You trying to gain 10 pounds? What's your goals? Because I think at 23 years old, 5'8", 148 pounds, and you claim you've been working out 5 years, I don't believe that. I think that if you with a proper diet and consistency with your working out, okay, making sure that you're lifting the proper weight. You might have outgrown the weight that you're lifting too. That's possible. A lot of people will have these home gyms and, you know, they got this little 100-pound weight set and they've been lifting that shit for 2 years and they throwing it around like it's a baby. You know, you have to be adjusting and upping your weight to make sure you're still stimulating your muscles. So I think that you can still put on mass. You're 23 years old. I think you can still put on another 10, 15 pounds before you hit 30. You know, that's, you know, I think you can do that naturally. Me personally, maybe more weight. I think you can do that with a proper diet, and the right stress that you put on your muscle, proper workout, and I think you can do it. You know, but I will say this: if you decide to take steroids, if you decide to go against my advice and other people who's been trying to help you advice and decide to take steroids, I would advise you this: regardless of what anybody tells you, regardless of how cheap you want to be, please get your post-psychotherapy products before you buy any steroids. Buy your post-psychotherapy. Buy your AIs. Buy all that shit before you even before you even decide on which steroid you're going to take. Buy your post-psychotherapy, okay, and buy your AIs. Get that shit and keep it on deck, okay? Even if you don't need it, just keep it on deck. It's always good to have around your fucking house just in case you decide, you know what? Dude down the street, you know, he got a deal on such and such. I might run me a cycle. Keep it on deck to protect yourself in case something goes wrong. You do not want to be one of these stupid motherfuckers who start taking shit and then all of a sudden your nipples start puffing up and then you run around crying on the internet. Hey, somebody help me. Hey, where can I go get Novadex? Hey, please help me. Where can I get Clomid? Hey, somebody help me. No, it's too late. You should have already had that shit on deck. That's what the fuck you need to do. All right? So get your post-psychotherapy shit. Listen, if you say, listen, I want to take a steroid cycle and I want to take one next year in June, right? If I don't see any gains, then next June I'm going to start juicing. If that's how you feel, then in December, you need to have your fucking PCT. You need to have your AIs. You need to have that shit on deck already. Okay? That's my advice to you. That's all I can say because I'm sick of these young guys or people, period, going against, as Arnold would say, the advices of other people. You go against the advices of these other people, and you go out there and you get shit, and you, oh, well, I heard that this was a mild, mild steroid. I heard it was very mild. I heard it doesn't aromatase, so, it's just no reason for me to have PCT with this. And then you start getting fucking symptoms and gynecomastia and all these other shit, and then you want to whine and cry. Then you on fucking CNN whining and bitching about the dangers of steroids and pro-hormones. No, you just a fucking idiot, all right? You're an idiot. There's nothing wrong with fucking Tylenol 3 or fucking Oxycontin and shit if you take it for the reasons you're supposed to take it. But if you're taking it for the purposes of getting high and you're taking 5 or 6 fucking pills a day, yeah, you're going to be fucked up. You're going to have side effects. So that's my advice to you, man. I hope I helped you out. And by the way, no, I am not on no fucking steroids, but I do know a little something about it, but that's my business. And, have fun, keep working out, you'll get there. If you're dedicated to it, you'll get there. Don't worry about how nobody else look. Stop judging your physique based off of other people. You're looking at guys in the gym, this guy over here, he getting big, and some people just got bad genetics, man. Do what the fuck you gotta do. Worry about your physique. Be the best you that you can be. That's what you should focus on. That's all I can do. I'm never gonna be a motherfucker walking around with a fucking 8-pack of abs and shit, and I got 4% body fat. No, man, I don't even want to look like that. I like being a big motherfucker, a big beastie motherfucker. That's what I like, I like being a deterrent, So, 78 Sports TV, I'll holler.